Our Widows have been rolling lately, winning 5 in a row, and in the first game of this episode, hoping to make it 6 as they welcome the Reapers. Both pitchers are looking for their first wins this season, but Roxxi's is special because she's still winless in her rookie season. The former Battlehawk Kai Zitkala leads off for the Reapers, and she lines this ball barely past Davin De La Cruz at second and into center for a leadoff single. Sharon Shadow's up next, and she hits a ground ball to short. It has enough to get past May's glove and into the outfield, so the first two batters reach now for the dangerous Clover Chaos. Chaos goes down swinging at the changeup for a big out number 1, but that brings up the number 4 hitter, Casey Cinder. Riot leaves the 2-2 high in the zone, and Cinder hits a line drive to center. It is gone! A mistake from the rookie goes Reaper's way. It is 3-0 thanks to Cinder's third home run on the season. Onyx Harvey steps in after the Cinder home run and slaps the grounder to second. It's off De La Cruz's glove for an infield single. The long first inning continues for Roxxi as she walks Briar Ballard to bring up Avon Rums with 2 on and 1 out. The defense picks the rookie up as Rums hits a grounder to third. Chloe steps on the bag for 1 and fires to first for the inning-ending double play. Widows trail early though, 3-0. Damian Crow's night begins with a strikeout of Yao Ling. Anytime you can keep her off the bases, it's a win. Chloe Nightingale's up and she gets great contact, but it's right at Zitkala at second for out number 2. Fatima De La Cruz sends the 2-2 into center on a line, so the inning continues as the Reapers have to face Crush Gonzalez. Gonzalez smashes the 0-1 to short, but Clover is there to glove it, and the inning, just like that, is over. Bottom 2, and after a strikeout by Rose Davenport to begin the inning, Carla Pontarelli hits the 3-1 back up the box and into center for a single. This brings up Jennifer Marx, filling in for Alexis Gamble. Marx jumps on the first pitch and sends it to left, past the diving Cinder. 2 straight Widows reach base and it's Tatiana May's turn at the dish. May takes the 2-0 inside pitch the other way to right field. It's not quite deep enough to leave the park, but it does get down on the warning track. 1 run scores and the Widows are on the board. That's all they'd get in the inning, but they've now cut the lead to 2, it's 3-1. With 1 on and 1 out, Crush Gonzalez steps in the bottom of the third. Gonzalez lines the first pitch she sees to second. Zitkala almost comes away with a web jam. Instead, it gets into center, and that's a single, bringing up Rose Davenport. Rose hits this ball to left. Unfortunately, it hangs in the air too long and it's out number 2, so Carla Pontarelli has the RBI chance now. Pontarelli comes through as she smokes the 1-1 to center. An RBI for Carla makes it a 3-2 game. The 2 runs in the inning were just what the doctor ordered as it's tied heading to the 4th. That tie I mentioned a second ago? Well, Briar Ballard has other plans as the tie is broken emphatically. This ball is blasted out in the center and you can forget about it, it's gone. The solo homer is Ballard's first on the year. It's a 4-3 Reapers lead. Widows looking to respond in their half of the 4th. They try a squeeze play with De La Cruz, but the bunt is popped up in the air. Luckily it falls, which causes the throw out to first. But that means there's 2 outs for who else but Crush Gonzalez. Crush sends this baseball on a frozen rope to right and it is gone! With 1 swing of the bat, Crush Gonzalez gives the Widows a lead, and her 4th home run on the year, it's 5-4. Bottom 5, and Tatiana May is up with 2 runners on base. Her first time facing Ike Randell goes way better than she anticipated, as she sends this towering fly ball to right, and it goes over the short fence for a 3-run round tripper. It's her first of the year, and that makes it a 8-4 Widows lead. They continue to hit and score in the inning as Crush, with the bases loaded, hits this ball to left. It gets down just in front of Harvey, and that's 4 runs in the inning now with the RBI from Gonzalez. Rose Davenport's up next, and we know her ability to score with the bases loaded here lately. She ends her 0 for 3 day in the best way possible smashing the very first pitch from Autumn Delora way out into center. It hits off the yellow line, but that means it's a grand slam for Davenport. After a career RBI game in the series against the Pythons, she picks up right where she left off, opening the lead to 13-4. Our Widows would score a total of 8 in the inning, and from there absolutely run away with this game, scoring in every inning afterwards to win, setting an AWL record for runs in a game, 34-6. There's a first time for everything clearly, as Roxxi Riot gets her first win on the season, Rose gets another 10 RBI game, and the 3 stars are Tatiana May making her first time appearance on the list this season, Rose Davenport, and Crush Gonzalez. Ahead of their next game against the Swordfish, Fatima de la Cruz reportedly got surgery on her throwing arm. It was a minor procedure, but in practice she appeared to have a little more pop to her throws. Set to start the upcoming game, Serena Slider is looking to get any advantage she can. She knows her weakness is her velocity, and she told me that she has something quote-unquote special up her sleeve to help with that. When probed further, she said, "I'll just have to watch her next start very closely." Well, Serena, consider my interest piqued. Lilith Nightingale has used her days off to spend them in the video room looking at her swing. Her sister Chloe said that she's never seen her sister this intense before, but in practice looked to be seeing the ball better, but she also looked a little slower on the field too. Hopefully that sitting didn't affect her speed too much. The ace Serena Slider and our Widows bring their now 6-game win streak into this game against the number 4 starter, Lana Neptune and the Swordfish, who, as a reminder, has superstar Kiwi Lightning, formerly of the Nightmare, on their team. Kiwi leads off with the Swordfish and goes after the very first pitch. It pays off as it's over the glove of Chloe at third and in the left for a double. That's a good sign, as Lightning has struggled this season so far. Slider gets her first strikeout of the night as Donovan Blackwell can't get to the forkball for out number 1. Lightning steals third, but it doesn't matter as Serena gets back-to-back Ks, now striking out Benjamin Johansson, which means it's up to Coral Longstroke to not strand Kiwi on third. Her big bat is silenced here as she weakly grounds out to second, so the Swordfish strand the runner on third to end their half of the first. Widow half of the first begins with Yao Ling reaching base on an infield single. Ball gets away from Lonnie at second on the dive. Ling gets herself to second with a stolen base, but Chloe lines out to center for the first out. De La Cruz whacks the first pitch to her through the hole into right, so now there's runners on the corners and 1 out for Crush Gonzalez. Gonzalez loops this ball over third and down into left. Ling scores easily from third, and there's an RBI double for Gonzalez, but De La Cruz is thrown out sliding into third. Now 2 outs on the inning for RBI machine Rose Davenport. She hits the 1-0 to center. Baller Dominguez has to move a tiny bit, but there's the final out of the inning. Widows lead 1-0 thanks to the RBI by Crush Gonzalez. With the runner on first and 2 outs in the top of the second, Baller Dominguez smokes this pitch from slider to right, and it rolls past Marx to the wall. Dominguez has himself an RBI triple as the runner comes all the way around from first to score, barely beating the throw to the plate. It's tying the game at 1. De La Cruz is up with a chance to add a run in the bottom of the third. With Ling on third, De La Cruz hits a liner that way. Coral Longstroke has a look what I found moment as she picks it out of the sky, keeping the Widows scoreless, ending the inning with a fantastic play. From a marvelous play in the field to a wondrous piece of hitting, Coral Longstroke turns on the inside pitch from slider and sends this ball way over the right field fence for a solo home run. That's the way you start an inning and give your team the lead in the process. It's 2-1 Swordfish. Later in the inning now with 2 outs, De La Shawn Newton hits a weak grounder to slider. She has trouble fielding it, and as a result, it's an infield single. Newton steals second, then Dominguez hits a grounder to short, and he dives, but it gets through into center. Ling fires home, but not in time as it's an RBI single for Ball Dominguez and a 3-1 Swordfish lead. Tatiana May is up with the bases loaded and 1 out in the Widow fourth. She hits a line drive to third. Lightning makes the diving catch, then flips to second, turning 2 and ending the inning in style. Amazing defense on display again by the Swordfish to keep the lead intact. Top 5 and Serena Sliders in trouble facing Mara Leoso. The runners in the corners move on to 3-2, but all Leoso does is hit this one right back to Slider, and the ace gets out of the jam and keeps it a 2-run ball game. With the runner on first, Chloe Nightingale steps up with 1 away in the bottom of the 5th. Neptune hangs the first pitch, and Nightingale rips it into the left center gap. The ball rolls all the way to the wall for a double, and now the tying run is on second for Fatima de la Cruz in a huge spot. She gives the 2-2 a ride into right center. It dies on the warning track as Dominguez makes the catch. Both runners move and it's a 3-2 lead for the Swordfish on the sacrifice fly. Neptune walks Gonzalez on 4 straight to put runners on first and third. They've got to get Rose Davenport and her hot bat out, and so far, she's 0 for 2. Rose ends her 0 for day, taking the 1-1 to right and driving in the tying run from third. It's 3-all now. The inning ends shortly after, while Aura Valentine line out to third, but we're all tied once again, this time at 3. Aura Valentine is up in a clutch moment here, bases loaded with 1 out. She goes upstairs to get this pitch, and it pays off, finding the center field grass. 1 run comes across the score, breaking the tie. It's 4-3 Widows as Jennifer Marx looks to follow. Marx hits a line drive to center for the second out. All the runners strangely move, and the throw to second guns down Valentine, so that's a double play, ending the inning. The Widows do have the lead, but a base running error cost them potentially another run in the inning. Coral Longstroke leads off the top of the 8th, already with a home run. Jackie Brooks cranks the fastball up to 100 miles per hour and sends Coral back to the bench. Mara Leoso steps in, still hitless. Leoso was ready for the high cheese, and she launches it to right. Marx jumps, but can't bring it back. It's gone! A huge at-bat for Mara Leoso. It's her second home run on the year, and guess what? It ties the game again at 4, and from there, we'd have some free baseball as the game goes to extra innings. It's top 10, and Mara Leoso leads off, setting the table by getting on base with a single into right, as at a reach for De La Cruz. With 1 out after the fielder's choice, Deshaun Newton gets set in the box. Newton goes down swinging at the high cheddar from Donisha Moss for the second out as Ariel Gonzalez tries to keep the inning alive. One Gonzalez lines out to the other as Ariel lines out to crush in left to end the inning there, and the Widows just need 1 to win in their half of the 10th. Rose Davenport gets the bottom of the 10th started for the Widows, and she's perfect on this swing, taking it right back up the middle into center. So the winning run is on base for catcher Aura Valentine, who already has an RBI in the game. Valentine draws a walk on 5 pitches, so winning run is now on second, and Jennifer Marx has a chance to win the game. Marx goes after the first pitch, and it pays off as it barely gets past Longstroke at third. Rose rounds third as the throw comes in. It's so close, but Davenport's able to slide in safely, and Jennifer Marx is the hero as the Widows walk it off in extras. The 5-4 win takes the win streak up to 7 in a row. Donisha Moss gets the W credit, and the 3 stars are Crush Gonzalez, Deshaun Newton, and Baller Dominguez. The win streak sits at 7 and puts us in first place at 10-7. With 7 games left in the regular season, what do you think our record's gonna be? Let me know that and anything else you have in the comments below. In that first game, as you can see, the score got out of hand. I did make some adjustment to the ego settings. I will be running with the ego settings that I have for the rest of the season regardless of what happens, so yeah. But back to the outro here. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like, and if you're new, consider subscribing if you like what you saw for more franchise content here. As always, you guys, you know what to do, B-Team. Stay on the channel, watch more videos, and keep on shining, and keep on grinding. And we'll see you all in the next one.